Hello again, fellow American citizens. My previous video gave an overview of the latest release of hacked DNC documents. This video will get into the details of the most scandalous revelations found in this massive document dump thus far. The Democrats have always cried out for campaign finance reform. They've staunchly opposed Citizens United and have repeatedly pledged to do their best to overturn it. They contend that people and corporations who donate large sums of money to the Republican Party have an advantage over the little guys that donate to the Democrat Party. And it's not fair. These latest leaked documents nullify their supposed claim to the moral high ground on this issue, as details of over 100,000 donors to the Democrat National Committee were made public. And the analysis of these donations has yielded an unsurprisingly massive level of pay-for-play corruption. Almost half of the top donors to the DNC were rewarded with cushy government jobs, at the taxpayers' expense, in exchange for their party support. Of course, most of these jobs were ambassadorships to mostly innocuous countries, but some of these positions were those of real power. When the list of donors is sorted by donation amount, these guys were the top 3 donors on the list. Meet Matt. He wanted to be the ambassador to the UK, and maybe Sweden too. Price tag? Over $3.5 million. This guy is still on the job, suckling at the taxpayers' teat. Then there's good old Julius. He really wanted to make a difference. He wanted to be chairman of the FCC. It's a pretty big deal, so there's a pretty big price tag. Just shy of $3.5 million. And how about my boy Frank? He too wanted a more powerful position than an ambassador. He wanted to be Undersecretary of Commerce. Sure thing, Frankie. Again, it'll cost you just shy of $3.5 million. That's over $10 million contributed by just these 3 dudes. Want to play? All you got to do is pay. For one of these cushy jobs, there appears to have been a little competition. This is Cynthia. Cindy didn't have such high aspirations. She just wanted to live in a cute little European country like Luxembourg on our dime. But then here comes Bob. Bobby wants to live in Luxembourg for free too. Bobby, Cindy, you two need to compromise. How much money do you have, Cindy? I have $1.4 million. How about you, Bobby? Gee, I only have $1.1 million. How about this? Why doesn't Cindy go first because she gave more? Then you can have your turn, Bobby. Does that sound fair? I guess so. Of the top 53 donors to the DNC, 24 of them were given cushy government jobs. When we total up the donations from these 24 individuals, we come up with a whopping $42.9 million. It's a staggering amount of money. These documents lay bare the inner workings of the Democrat Party, despite their pleadings to the contrary. The expectation of payback for favors or donations is pervasive throughout the swamp upon which Washington, D.C. was built. I'm certain that the Republican Party, were it subjected to a similar confidential document leak, would also have a fair share of corruption exposed. But what most inflames the Democrats is that even if such a leak were to happen, it wouldn't indict Donald Trump at all. Some say Trump can't be president, he's never been a politician. I say that's exactly why he should be president. Hillary has been wallowing neck deep in the corrupt political mud for almost 30 years. The last thing we need in the White House is a greasy, mud-covered pig. The Dems will do their best to distract the American people from the contents of these leaked documents, but we must keep our attention on what's important, the blatant corruption they expose. Now we have yet another look at how the sausage is made, and it's just as ugly as we expected. Is just about every politician in Washington corrupt to some extent? Most likely. Could electing someone who hasn't been a lifelong politician be the refreshing change America needs to have its citizens regain some faith in their country? Fucking A right.